Free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! One! We are the people! Two! We won't be silent! Three! Stop the bombing down, down, down!
So many Australians will be aware that an Australian has become a victim of war in East Jerusalem. So 20-year-old Raneem Abu Izneid, she's an Australian, 20-year-old studying dentistry. Her parents are Australian. She is of Palestinian background. Raneem was studying dentistry in East Jerusalem in third year. About 3 weeks ago, she was in her dormitory studying in her pajamas. There was some activity on the street. IDF soldiers were involved. The other lady in her room went close to the window to have a look at what's going on. A shot was fired at the window, penetrated through the window. The bullet used, we understand, is an explosive type bullet, which is internationally banned. The bullet penetrated the window. Shrapnels hit Raneem in her eye, in her skull, in her chest, and in her neck. Raneem was not able to get medical attention because ambulances were not allowed to enter the street until IDF forces have finished their operation. And eventually they did get in, and she was advised that her situation is time critical, that if her eye was not attended to quickly, she would lose her eye. At that time it was bleeding. Her parents, who contacted the Australian embassy in Jerusalem and also in Jordan, a medical evacuation, unfortunately, while Raneem did get some assistance from the embassy, a medical evacuation was not organized that it should have been for a time-critical medical situation like this. She was taken to a hospital in East Jerusalem where she was advised that basically at that time that her eye was not recoverable, and at that time also she lost feeling in part of her skull. She was then with some embassy or consulate support. She went to Jordan, where the hospital there basically advised her the same situation. It took quite a few days, about 5 or 6 days, for her to actually be able to be evacuated out of East Jerusalem, then Jordan, then eventually made it to Melbourne. I was there in the airport when she attended, and I invited you, I think, to speak to her as well. And she has been receiving medical attention since then. Unfortunately, her eye has been removed about 3 or 4 days ago. Now, one of her dreams in life is to become a dentist. She's third-year dentist student, so she loves dentistry. And because of her situation, she's been trying to actually continue her studies in Melbourne instead of having to go back to East Jerusalem. And unfortunately, some universities have already told her that she can't be a dentist with one eye. The other important thing is that the family has approached the Premier of Victoria to seeking a meeting with the Premier to seek some help, particularly to get into universities, but also as an Australian is to seek help from the Premier. The Premier has not accepted to meet the family. All they did was to get one of her advisors to speak to the family, but there was no progression to that case, and there was no meeting was held to date. To date, no meeting was held.
Just getting back to the incident, have the IDF given a reason for why they shot at that apartment building?
So to my knowledge today, the IDF has not acknowledged that they are responsible for the incident. It is my understanding that the Australian government has asked for an investigation. The details of the investigation is still going on, and the results of it the family, to my knowledge, are not aware of the investigation. But this is something that is really important, because as an Australian non-combatant student in her dormitory, in her pajamas, becoming a victim of war, losing her eye, it is incumbent upon the Australian government to provide assistance to that student, but also to seek a serious investigation, not an investigation where, we're kind of sorry. There needs to be a serious investigation of why this happened and who did it, and also to be able to confirm, is it possible that the person who shot was actually an Australian serving in the IDF? If that is the case, that is a significant.
Why do you think that's why do you think there would be a possibility that it'll be an Australian IDF member?
Well, because there is a number of, I'm not saying that it is, I'm saying there are a number of Australians serving in the IDF at the moment, and it's not small numbers, and that it's quite feasible, quite plausible that it was an Australian who actually shot the bullet.
Liberation is our nation.